we will make this available for everyone on Spotify. But just a reminder again, for all the PBA fans, we are just a day away from the PBA Governors Cup restart. And you can catch all the games by downloading Smart GigaPlay app. It is available on iOS and on Android. And the second game, ng lahat ng game days will also stream live on the Smart Sports Facebook page. So mas marami na tayong pagkakataon to watch the PBA again. You can download the Smart GigaPlay app to watch all of the games, lahat ng laro, and then all of the second games streaming on the Smart Sports Facebook page. Siyempre, maliban pa yan sa TV5, sa One Sports, PBA Rush, at radyo, siyempre. Lahat yan maghahatid sa inyo ng PBA Action. Magu, I hope you're doing well. Yep.
But wait, there's more. Diyan sa Smart Sports, pag pinalo nyo yung SOCMED pages, lalo na sa Instagram, YouTube, yung highlights. Meron din dyan. And dahil mag-uumpisa na nga ulit bukas ang PBA, may mga bagong highlights na tayo makikita. Yung mga paborito nating bida, makikita na natin paano magpakitang gilas para sa ating lahat. Nang bago, hindi na yung puro replay pinapanood natin.
At Magu, dahil na-miss natin yung mga kasama natin sa 2OT, uumpisahan natin ng mga pagbati. If you want a shout-out, dahil po matagal kaming nawala nitong si Magu, we would want to appreciate you. If you want shout-out, sabihin nyo lang po yung mga pangalan nyo, kung saan, taga-saan kayo, kung sino yung gusto nyong batiin. We'll make sure to acknowledge as much as we can. Because we've missed talking to you kasi tagal nga, di ba? Parang higit isang buwan na walang PBA. Na-miss namin kayo, na-miss namin yung PBA action, and we're ready to get it going. But first, of course, I would want to extend, just my well wishes to everyone. Sana po hindi kayo masyadong naapektuhan nung pagtaas ng mga kaso ng COVID. I hope that you and your loved ones are all doing safe, and it's time now to enjoy PBA action once again. Kumusta ka, Mago?
Tinamaan man o hindi, yung mga ka-2OT natin, ang importante, lahat tayo ngayon magkakwentuhan na ulit. Kung hindi tinamaan, very good. Kung tinamaan man, buti naman naka-recover na po kayo. Umpisa na ba nakating kagad ng shoutouts natin?
Yep.
Just before we get into the meat of it, maya-maya lang, pagkikwentuhan na natin yung mga mangyayari bukas and the rest of the next few weeks. Ray Ramos, welcome back daw. Shoutout kay Ray Ramos. Kamusta po, sirs? Si Allen Isley naman, pinapa-shoutout ang kanyang ate Maris, who is a Magnolia Hot Shots fan. Rafael Sunga Coruña, kamusta po kayo? At pati si Joseph Barrelo, magandang gabi po. Can't wait for Mauricio and John Pinto for Inebra, sabi ni Jeffrey Zafe. Maya-maya, pagdediskusyon na natin yan. Si Dodge Moto, dito nagkwentuhan si Lemor Litok, si Dodge Moto, kaibigan natin. Dito kinukumusta sa Facebook page natin. Sa'yo, Carlo.
Sa akin naman sila Mark Martin, sila Gabriel Romero Tomelden, si Rogelio Marbella, Nino Nanlabi Castillon, si Emer John Castillo Doropan, si Marilyn Navaja Abelio, si Simplicio Luga Jr., Juan Miguel Invite, shoutout from Lobo, Batangas, sila Princess Isaiah Tagakay, Mark Brian Banga Divino, shout out daw sa girlfriend niya na si Sheila Jean Llorente. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. And again, welcome to 2OT. May mga nagtatanong na agad, Magu, kailan daw tayo magpapapasok ng fans ulit kasi gusto nilang makipagkwentuhan sa atin. In time, we will open it to fans once again. Pero ngayon siguro dahil sobrang dami nating topics, Magu, kailangan solohin muna natin to get everything going to discuss.
Dito. Okay. Yeah. Magpapasok sa 2OT mismo.
Sa Zoom. Sa Zoom.
Kasi papaalala din natin, bukas po habang lahat tayo excited na meron na uling PBA na mangyayari sa Smart Araneta Coliseum, hindi pa po pwede magpapasok ng fans. Pero may chismis tayo. Feb 16. Kung sakasakali na this opening weekend, okay ang lahat, baka pagdasal po natin na Feb 16, payagan na. Feb 16, that's next Wednesday, I think. Sa Wednesday, bale, the start of the second week ng pagbabalik ng PBA. Hopefully, magkasama-sama na tayo doon sa Smart Araneta. Chismis pa lang po yun, Wala pa pong definite doon.
Kailangan kong batiin yung tropa ko, si Soc Rivera, nanonood dito. Magandang gabi, may pabengi kay Idol. Thank you for watching here on 2OT. Magu, to set the table para umpisahan ang ating diskusyon tungkol sa PBA, let's look at the team standings para masilip natin kung nasaan ang lahat ng koponan ngayon in the league. Magnolia still on top, undefeated. Meralco, pinakakonting laro, pero wala pa ring talo. Sinundan niya ng may pinakamaraming panalo in the NLEX Road Warriors. Unfortunately, losing their last game of 2021. Kaya 4-1 ang kanilang record. Inebra at 3-1. Alaska, Phoenix, San Miguel at 3-2. TNT is 2-2. Rainer Shine at 2-3. Terra Firma, Northport, and Blackwater. Sila po yung mga nahihirapan sa kasalukuyan, di ba? Naghahanap ng paraan to be able to put out a better team and play better sa pagsisimula ng ating Governors Cup. Once again, tomorrow.
Importante ng balikan, tututukan talaga natin yan at ipapaalala sa lahat yung team standings para maalala din natin pare-pareho kung ano na ba yung nangyari so far in this Governor's Cup para makapag-prepare tayo sa mga parating na laban in the coming weeks. Magnolia, you mentioned it, Carlo. Kwento natin ng mabilisan lang. 3-0 record so far. They beat Terra Firma, they beat Rainer Shine, and they beat Barangay Inebra on Christmas Day. Ang pinaka-importante dito sa kwento ng 3-0 na Magnolia, Carlo, alam natin, Coach Chito Victolero, Magnolia, this franchise, sinasandalan, depensa, grabe yung pagsabog ng kanilang opensa so far, Carlo. They scored 114 kontra Terra Firma, 114-87. Rainer Shine, 109-98. Barangay Inebra, 117-94. Yung opensa ng Magnolia was really clicking. They were really reeling before this break. Sana magtuloy-tuloy. If you're a Magnolia fan, kung fan ka naman ng ibang team, hahanapan nyo ng paraan para pigilan. Pero so far, yung 3-0 na yan, ang puhunan, opensa, Carlo.
Yep, and tambak lahat, no? Lahat ng tatlong panalo, wala man lang nakalapit dito sa Magnolia. Of course, the biggest win was against Barangay Inebra during Christmas Classico, and they're just showing their strength. I mean, Calvin Abueva, so efficient. I think 60% yung pumapasok sa mga binibitawang tira nitong si Calvin Abueva. And of course, their import, Mike Harris, has been outstanding. Kaya naman hindi nakakagulat that they're on top of the standings right now. Muntik nang maging NLEX. They were right there, 4-0. Yeah. Tapos wala pang import, di ba? Yung Phoenix in that last game, hindi nakapaglaro ng matagal. Itong si Paul Harris because of a hamstring injury. Unfortunately, NLEX suffering one loss. Pero sila yung pwedeng mag-bounce back. They will be opening our restart in their game against the Meralco Bolts. Yan po yung magiging unang laro bukas sa loob ng Smart Araneta Coliseum. Susundan ng salpukan sa pagitan ng Magnolia, Pambansang Manok Hotshots at TNT Tropang Giga. That is your doubleheader for tomorrow.
Staying with NLEX, bago nating pasadahan ng mabilis yung Meralco, you already mentioned it. They went 4-0, natalo lang nung huli. Ang importante dito sa 4-0 nila, dinaanan nila yung San Miguel, dinaanan nila yung TNT. Yes, nandoon din yung Northport, nandoon yung Terra Firma before that loss to Phoenix. Pero as you look at the standings, Northport, Terra Firma, nasa baba naman yan. Kung ikaw NLEX fan, ang tititigan mo, ang papansinin mo, yung mga katabi mo sa standings, dyan sa upper half ng ano. So, importante dyan, nadaanan mo na yung TNT, nadaanan mo na yung San Miguel. And so, hindi mo na kailangan kalabanin yung mga traditional powerhouse na yun as you go along. So, looking good ang NLEX dito sa tournament na to. Di ba, Carlo?
Of course, Barangay Inebra, as we said, natalo dito sa Magnolia, but a 3-0 start. They've been dealing with a lot of injuries, but Justin Brownlee will always be a threat. He will always be one of the best imports in the Governor's Cup. Kaya naman, nandyan pa rin sila sa taas ng ating standings.
Tapos may addition pa, no? John Pinto. Mamaya-maya papasadaan natin mga addition na yan. Pero yung Pinto, nakuha na ng Barangay Inebra. Sinasabi ng iba, baka daw habang injured kasi si Stan Pringle. Pero, na-discover ko nung isang araw lang, kinikwento ko sa iyo, Carlo. Ayon, dun sa YouTube page ng mga ballboy ng Barangay Inebra. Nagbalik na si Pringle Sensa yun, isang araw lang. 2 days ago, nagbalik na, kapopost lang. Ano yung tawag doon? Inebra Ballers. Papost namin yung link, Merong sariling YouTube page ngayon po, yung mga ballboy ng Barangay Inebra, and ang gaganda po ng content nila. Quality nandun. May mga pa 3-point contest pa, gano'n. Nakakakuha tayong chismis ng mga ganyan eh.
Rainer Shine at 2-3. I think sa lahat ng koponan na nasa bandang baba ng ating standings, their record, they're much better than what their record suggests.
Lalong-lalo na kasi ilang taon na nangyayari to, Carlo. Natalo na naman to sa Terra Firma. Talagang suking-suki kontra pelo yung prangkisa ng Rainer Shine sa prangkisa ng Terra Firma. They absorb a loss to the Terra Firma, guys. natalo rin sila sa Magnolia, natalo rin sila sa TNT.
Mhm.
They picked up a win against Blackwater, okay, and then a big win, a 2-point win kontra naman sa Phoenix Super LPG. 90-88 was the final score. Pero yun nga, no? Terra Firma nadaanan na, yung Blackwater nadaanan na. Look at the standings. Ang natitira na lang sa kanila, nandiyan sa mas mababa sa kanila, Northport na lang para dito sa Rain or Shine. So, and everybody else, nando na, mas mataas pa sa kanila, Dihamak. So, they're gonna have to come together, these Elasto painters of Coach Chris Gavina.
San Miguel Beer also making moves, pulling an import change, di ba? Magpapapasok sila ng bagong import heading into the restart of the Governor's Cup. Yung San Miguel Beer, okay, 3 wins, but as you already mentioned, Magu, yung mga tinalo nila are a lot of the teams near the bottom of the standing so far. So, alam natin malakas yung SMB, pero hindi pa talaga nasusubukan against the top-tier teams, at least in this conference.
San Miguel opened their campaign by losing to NLEX 114-102. And then, kasunod na laro nun, 5-point loss to the Alaska Aces. And you mentioned it, 3-game win streak before that break, Carlo. But, yung 3-game win streak nila, hindi yung mga katabi nila o hindi yung mga mas mataas sa kanila sa standings. It is those 3 teams at the bottom. Yeah. Northport 91-88, Blackwater 107-88, and then Terra Firma 188. Important to pick up the W's, pero yung battle for position, hindi masyadong, di ba, hindi nakakatapult sa yon. Importante lang nakuha mo yung panalo doon.
Alaska and Phoenix doing well enough, 3-2. Yung Phoenix lalo na, no? They could have very well been 5-0 with how they play. They were right there. Parang yung TNT, puro malalapit yung mga nagiging talo nitong Phoenix.
Kita mo naman, ano? Natalo tong Phoenix sa Rain or Shine, 90-88. Natalo sa Barangay Inebra, 125-121. OT pa yan, ano?
Yep.
And then there's 3 wins. NLEX by 9, Blackwater by 11, and then a 3-point win over Terra Firma. Nandoon palagi. And then ang problema nila ngayon, nawala pa sa kanila si Chris Banquero. Mamaya-maya, hihimayin natin yan, Carlo.
The Alaska Aces doing well, but yung nagiging problema, well, we hate to say it, but as usual for Olu Ashalu, his health, no? Dating import nitong NLEX Road Warriors, nahihirapan talaga to play at the level that he can because he is slowed down by injuries here and there.
Every time, very explosive itong si Ashalu. Pero yun nga, just to stay on the floor and stay healthy, yun ang nagiging problema. Hopefully, para sa kanila, the rest of the way, para kina Coach Jeff, they've got new additions as well. And sila Alin Bolinadi and all that. They lost some guys as well, or a guy as well. Mamaya ihimay natin. But hopefully for Alaska, yung pinaka-importante nga, yung health ni Olo.
Okay, yung mga laro nga po bukas, the NLEX Road Warriors versus the Meralco Bolts, dalawa sa mga kupunan na nasa taas ng ating mga standings right now. And then for the main game, it will be the Magnolia Pambansang Manok Hotshots in their Philippine Cup Finals rematch against the TNT Tropang Giga. Mainit yung magiging laban na yan, Magu. Kasi kahit na TNT yung nanalo sa Philippine Cup, it's a brand new ball game with imports involved. As we know, TNT will be sporting Aaron Fuller, yung kanilang replacement import from here on out.
Kasi naman itong TNT nga, no? Loss win ang nangyari. Natalo sa NLEX nung una. Nanalo naman sila kontra Alaska 81-77 before losing to Meralco 83-80. And then nakabawi naman ng panalo 95-92 sa Rain or Shine. And yung mga taga-kampo nga ng TNT sinasabi, no, they're lucky enough to come out 2-2 out of that stretch dahil injured naman yung import nila nun. Hindi 100% yung import. And mukhang talagang yung chemistry, yung outside player din sa dami na magagaling gwardiya ng TNT. Parang nahirapan silang i-mesh siya within their system. Hopefully, pagbalik ngayon ng TNT, mas nakapag-reload na nga sila. Kumbaga.
Parang yung Phoenix, TNT could have been 4-0. They could have been 0-4.
Actually.
Dun sa lapit ng mga naging laro nila, no TNT game was decided by more than 4 points dun sa kanilang unang 4 na laro. So let's see how
they lost.
That will. Yep.
Yeah, they lost by 2, they lost by 3. Then they won by 4 and they won by 3. Ganun katindi, di ba?
Sa kabilang banda, yung Magnolia nananambak. 3 tambak yung naipanalo nitong Magnolia. So tignan natin kung paano yung magiging resulta ng larong yan. I think a lot of people will be paying attention to that matchup tomorrow.
I think yan, yung Magnolia, solid yan. NLEX, napatunayang solid na. At 2-0, we have to put them up there at second place because they are 2-0.
Yep.
Pero has Meralco actually been tested? They beat Blackwater by 11, by 21 rather, 98-77. And then they beat TNT by 3, 83-80. Hindi pa ganun kalaki yung sample
Sample size. Yep.
Sample size mo to say na they belong in the top 2 or top 3 right now. Matetesting bukas to sa NLEX, Carlo.
Yep, that could be a big statement para dun sa mananalo dun sa larong yun, di ba? If you're NLEX, you go up 5-1, then well, you're a favorite to make it to the top 4 and a twice to beat advantage in the quarterfinals, di ba? With that kind of record, Magu. Para sa Meralco naman, you go up 3-0, so that is an important game sa pag-uumpisa ng ating restart.
Importante yung binanggit mo. Paalala natin, Carlo. Unlike the Philippine Cup, na top 2 twice to beat ng 7-8, tapos yung sa gitna, best of 3. Sa Governor's Cup po, top 4, twice to beat ng 5, 6, 7, 8. Only playoff will be played para sa number 8 again. So, pinaka-importante na naman dyan, yung 4-5. Yung mga quotient, Carlo, nangyari yan. Yeah. How many conference na? Yung Clark Bubble, itong Bacolor Bubble, di ba? Yung mga winning margin or losing margin, maaga sa tournament, kino-compute po pagdating ng dulo. So, it's a matter of, pag ikaw yung 4, pag ikaw yung 5, you may end up tied, pero depende sa quotient, magkakaroon ng advantage sa dulo.
Terra Firma, Northport, and Blackwater currently still struggling. Of course, yung Northport, alam natin yung naging problema with their import, no? Pag sa pagsisimula, yung Blackwater din, no? Hindi makakuha ng decent contributions from their import as well. Terra Firma, Minalas, na-injure itong si Alex Cabagnor, alongside other issues for that team, at least in their first 5 games. Pag-uusapan natin sila maya-maya lamang. But, Magu, yung mga pinakamainit na discussion surrounding the PBA in the past couple of weeks as we've gone through all of these teams is the free agency. For the first time in a while, nagkaroon tayo ng legitimate, unrestricted free agency to the players that were drafted in 2014. So yung ibig sabihin po niyan, lahat ng kasali dun sa draft class na yon, kung nagtapos na yung contract mo noong December 31, 2021, you are not obliged, you are not restricted to sign with your current team. You can get offers from anyone and you can sign freely with anyone na walang makukuhang kapalit yung team na kasalukuyang pinaglalaroan mo.
I absolutely love it. It is such a welcome change for the PBA and for the basketball scene here because it gives players rights. Mm-hmm. You spend your first 7 years. Depende doon sa nangyari sa unang-unang kontratang pinirma mo when you got drafted. But you pay your dues. 7 years, nandoon ka, kung nakatali ka sa kontrata, kung ayaw mo naman talaga sa team na yun, siguraduhin mo lang na hindi ka magre-renew by year 5 or year 6 ng mahaba. Siguraduhin mo mapapa-expire mo yung kontrata mo by year 7 para ikaw nga makapili. Everybody goes nuts. Right now, it is Hell Week in the NBA. Watch Week, actually. Adrian, watch
mamaya.
Ngayon
Mamaya.
Hanggang mamaya, di ba? Hanggang mamaya madaling araw yan. All week long sa lahat na nangyari. Dahil meron niyang karapatan yung mga player na magpunta kung saan nila gusto. Yung mga free agent. And then yung iba naman, nagpepuwersa ng trade, ganito, ganon. Pero dito sa atin sa PBA, merong unrestricted free agent, meron ding restricted free agent. Some guys went through that. Pwede kang offera ng ibang team. Pag hindi minatch ng team mo, makakaalis ka doon sa kontrata mo. But it gives the stakeholders, the PBA teams, of course, the owners, they have a big stake sila pong gumagastos dito. But the fans also have a stake and the players as well. Sila yung main product natin dito. Sila yung mga bida, liga nga ng mga bida ang PBA. I absolutely love the fact na meron silang karapatan ngayon pumili. Pagka dumating na yung takdang oras, pag dumating na yung takdang oras, may karapatan silang pumili kung saan nila gusto maglaro. Tama ba?
Okay ka lang? yung ayaw ko lang yung ayaw ko lang talaga dito sa nangyaring free agency, no? And it's no one's fault. Walang may kasalanan, walang may issue dito. I think it's just unfortunate that the contracts ended in the middle of a conference. And we all know why. We know it's because of the COVID pandemic, di ba? Nagka-leche-leche yung schedule natin. Ang daming tigil sa action. We just had another month na hindi tayo nakapaglaro. But it's really difficult for the teams na mawawalan ng mga magagaling ng players in the middle of the conference. Kasi ang hirap na humanap eh. Ang hirap na humanap ng kapalit na player. You are very limited with your opportunities. Hindi ka makadraft, di ba? Because the draft is still coming mid-year. I think May yung nakaplano. It's unfortunate, but again, it's no one's fault. And if you're a player, kung naghahanap ka ng championship, kung naghahanap ka ng mas gusto mong kontrata, a long-term contract, a better contract, the power is in your hands. And nakakita tayo talaga ng maraming free agents who maximize this opportunity.
I think pinakamaingay dyan, yung Chris Banquero, syempre. Because Chris Banquero, of all the players, with all due respect to the players that made a move, Chris Banquero siguro yung pinakamatulugnan, pinakamatindi yung dinadala. Not just the numbers, but the overall package to a certain team. He left Phoenix. He moved over now to the Meralco Bolts, and he is going to make a big impact on that squad, Carlo.
The first person among these free agents to sign was itong si Rodney Brondial. Left the Alaska Aces, signed with the San Miguel Beermen, and nakakwentuhan din natin si Rodney, no? Sabi niya, gusto niya talaga, pinangarap niya talaga na magbalik dun sa tatay niya, dun sa Adamson Falcons na si Coach Leo Oster. He really wanted an opportunity to play for a coach na talagang nagbigay sa kanya ng opportunities in Adamson. We all know what Rodney Brondial brought to the table when he was in Adamson, and he was given more opportunities by Coach Leo. Kaya naman iniwan niya yung Alaska to sign with SMB. I think it was the earliest, no? Kaka-New Year lang nung nag-announce itong si Rodney Brondial, nung nagpaalam siya sa kanyang dating kupunan, and sinundan yan ni itong go.
Just to play devil's advocate on that. It's not, ako personally, of course, hindi naman tayo yun eh. Pero depende sa player. It's not about just money.
Sure.
As a PBA fan, as a basketball fan, you also want to see a guy go where he'll get opportunities. I just hope he gets the same opportunities he was already getting in Alaska. Mabigat na yung papel niya sa Alaska. He was getting 24, 27 minutes a game. He was getting a lot of load from Coach Jeff Carriazo. Hopefully, in that loaded lineup ng San Miguel, you've still got Junmar, you've still got Vic Manuel, you've still got Mo Tautua. Grabe yung front court rotation on. You know, Brondial can stretch it. Parang nawala si Arwin, nawala yung tumitira ng tres na big. Pwedeng si Brondial yon. But I don't expect him to get Arwin minutes. Hopefully, kay Brondial, makuha rin niya yung same opportunities na he was being given for Alaska. Yun lang yung sa akin. I've always been a Brondial fan.
Yeah. Because Alaska treated him well. I mean, hindi siya nakapaglaro masyado when he was with the Magnolia franchise. No, he did not get a lot of minutes. But with Alaska, he was given the opportunities to shine. And ganun talaga, di ba? When you're a free agent, the power is in your hands. Decided to go with SMB. The next card to fall was itong si John Pinto leaving the Meralco Bolts, going to Barangay Inebra, San Miguel. We all know why. Kulang ng gwardya as of the moment, itong Barangay Inebra. Wala si Stanley Pringle, still recovering from a knee injury. So they decided to chase a free agent, and they landed a good one in Pinto.
At the time, nang hinayang din ako for Pinto, just because he was a starting point guard for Coach Norman Black. He was getting the start para dito sa Meralco Bolts. Pero kalaunan, nung nakuha naman si Banquero, mamaya pagkikwento natin, okay na rin pala dahil magsaslide, malamang bumalik naman siya sa backup pala. Di ba? Because he was already the starter. He was getting a lot of responsibility. And you know, sa tagal na natin around basketball, before pa tayo magtrabaho sa PBA and all that, just being around basketball, every player just wants a chance to play. And he was getting that chance already with Meralco. But if Stan's going to be a while, he will get that chance behind LA Tenorio over at Barangay Inebra. We'll see what happens over there dahil nawala rin pala yung ano ko na sayang naman dahil yung pagkakataon niya dahil nakuha rin naman pala si Banquero. So okay lang.
Kasi yung mga minutong nabibigay kay Ken Salado baka mabigay ngayon dito kay Pinto, di ba?
Yeah. Yun naman ang malas, baka ma-recall nga yung mga pagkakataong nakuha ni Salado. Because he was finally getting minutes, di ba?
Yep, but you know, Coach Tim Cone decided to sign Pinto. He knows what he can bring to the table. Magaling mag-set ng plays, a really good playmaker, decent scorer. So you know that he will get chances with Barangay Inebra again.
Plus Carlo, kapapasok lang sa Barangay Inebra, panoorin nyo nga po yung YouTube channel nung, mamaya na pagkatapos dito, yung YouTube channel ng mga ballboy ng Barangay Inebra. Siya po nanalo sa 3-point shootout. Spoiler alert. Tinalo ba naman sina Jeff Chan and sila LA Tenorio and the rest of the guys. Nagkaroon sila ng 3-point shootout, mini 3-point shootout sa ensayo. Isipin mo, nanalo kagad yung Pinto, nagpakilala kagad sa Barangay Inebra.
Best PBA content creator. Barangay Inebra Ball Boys right now.
Hanapin ko nga dito. Nasa ba yan?
Mago, Rodney Brondial to SMB. Itong si Pinto going to Barangay Inebra. The next person to sign. Sino ba nauna dito sa dalawang to? I think nauna si Matt, no? Matt Ganuelas-Rosser landing with the team that drafted him back in 2014.
Just to show everybody. Kita ba? Blurred. Inebra Boys, Ballers. O, kita nyo, subscribed ako. Ang galing ng content. Daming insider. Sabi
nga ng mga YouTubers, smash that like button and click subscribe for the bell.
Ano yung pinagkikwento natin? Sorry.
Yung susunod na free agent Magu, si Matt Ganuelas-Rosser going back to the team that drafted him in 2014. When he was drafted, yung tingin natin kay Matt, he would be, their version of a Gabe Norwood. Maybe not as capable a scorer as Gabe Norwood, but yung pagka Swiss Army knife, yung kayang magdala ng bola, kayang dumepensa, kayang gawin yung maraming roles, do the dirty work for his team. That was what we thought Matt Ganuelas' role would be para sa TNT.
What I like about how this played out, Ganuelas-Rosser got traded to Terra Firma. He played his butt off. He worked his butt off. He played his butt off. He was so professional na pag-expire ng kontrata niya, I don't think it is his right to move, pero wala kang masasabi, hindi siya nag-hold out, hindi siya nagmukmok, hindi siya na ayoko naman sa ganitong team o ganon. He worked, he played, and when his opportunity came, he opted out, and he goes back to TNT nga, na nag-draft sa kanya dati. And he was so excited. He was all over social media saying he is just so looking forward to playing for Coach Chot Reyes. Diba?
Yep. And that's a big opportunity for him. Kasi hindi lang yan eh. With what's happening with the Gilas Pilipinas program. Diba? 2015, Gilas itong si Matt Ganuelas-Rosser. Naglaro yan sa China. He is a FIBA Asia Championship silver medalist. So maybe, who knows, he might get another opportunity in the near future.
Excuse me. He's a golden silver medalist. 2015 pinag-uusapan natin. That's still a golden silver, ha?
May pa rin eh. May hapdi pa rin eh, no, Mago? Hindi pa rin mabitawan talaga eh.
Sa record book, palagi natin sinasabi to, walang asterisk. Mapa NBA, MLB, NFL, PBA, kahit saan, sa FIBA. Pero papaalala natin ang papaalala sa lahat. Gold and silver yon. Wala sa record book yon, pero gold and silver yon.
Sa puso ko may asterisk yun.
Hindi natin palilimot yan. Wala lang. You gotta be excited for a guy like Matt. Na, yun eh, importante nga po eh. These guys are professionals. Pero syempre, hindi mo rin maaalis na iba pa rin yung ibibigay na effort niyan pag gusto nila yung sitwasyon nila. This is why I like that the players have rights now. Or more rights at that.
Yung tanong kasi dyan eh, is if you're Matt Ganuelas-Rosser and both your mother team and another team offer the same amount of money, sa tingin mo saan ka ma-maximize? Sa tingin mo saan ka makakuha ng panalo? Iba yung sagot eh, di ba? Sometimes it's opportunity. Right? Yeah. Sometimes you would want to play more minutes. You stay with Terra Firma. Maybe at this stage of your career, you just want, another shot at a championship. Maybe you go with TNT. So, walang maling sagot eh. The players' feelings are all valid. You sign with a team where you think you can accomplish yung mga goals mo. Yung anong gusto mong makuha from your PBA career. That is how you choose. And he chose to go with TNT.
Yeah, it's not about, as we said, it's not just about money. It's about fulfillment. Eh? Whatever you want out of this game that we all love, these guys have made a living out of it. Hindi ka naman robot lang. Sige, nandito ako, dito daw ako, lalaro. Hindi. Siyempre, iba pa rin yung may hinahanap kang fulfillment para sa sarili mo. Keep yourself happy. And if there's a way, legally, nag-expire ka, pwede ka lumipat, pwede mong gawin. And pag nagawa mo, if it is successful, okay naman. Kasi hindi naman lahat nakakalipat ha. Tandaan natin, meron ding dinadrop lang, meron ding gustong-gusto lumipat sa ganitong team, ayaw naman tanggapin doon. So some of them work out fine, just like what happened to Matt right here.
And as an example, itong si Andreas Cahilig, who was not an unrestricted free agent, he was a restricted free agent ng Terra Firma. he may have gotten offers elsewhere, we don't know, but he decided to stay with Terra Firma kasi doon siya nakakapaglaro eh. Diba?
Yeah.
They've been giving him his opportunities. He has been playing at the power forward, small forward spot for them, doing very well. So he decided na, hey, they gave me a contract, I signed it, and I will stay with this team for, I think, 2 more years yung magiging kontrata nitong
And
si Kahilig. Yes.
si Kahilig doesn't just play, Carlo.
Yeah.
He makes an
Plays
impact.
hard.
He
plays
makes
hard.
an impact. Meron siyang impact. And actually, meron tayong been break down na numbers niyan before bago siya may injure. Merong not just yung impact na all around luga, hindi. Yung numbers niya actually dictate whether they have a chance of winning or not.
Yep.
And it was a proven fact a while ago. Kukompute natin ulit pagka nag-cover tayo ng Terra Firma game.
Okay, again, we arguably the biggest signing of the free agency ng 2014, unrestricted free agency of 2014, was Chris Banquero going to the Meralco Bolts. Yung roller coaster of emotions nitong Meralco, wild eh, no? You spend a lot of time and effort in trading for Pinto from Blackwater. Kinuha mo siya, namigay ka ng player doon, binigyan mo siya ng opportunities, he got better, and then he leaves you na walang kapalit. And then you start scrambling kasi pinamigay mo rin si Baseramer, di ba? You traded away the player who has been your main point guard.
Yeah.
And then you lose your current main point guard in Pinto. Laking bagay nun, ha? I'm sure it was a very tough couple of weeks for the Meralco Bolts.
Actually, halos sabay yata yan. If I remember correctly, nakita ko kapipirma lang din ni Baseramer naman ng extension sa Blackwater. So hindi nga lahat lumilipat eh. Merong dito ako makakalaro na maayos, di ba? Maganda naman yung bigay sa'yo dito, maganda yung offer. So Baser will be staying with Blackwater. Eto Meralco, they lose a guy like Pinto who already became their starting point guard. But with all due respect to Pinto, again, Banquero, in my personal own opinion, is an upgrade.
Yeah.
Yung what he can bring to the table, the firepower that this guy can bring, upgrade on that at that position para dito kay Coach Norman.
I'll just pull off really quick numbers. I think itong si Banquero, 18 points per ball game. And Magu, you might agree with me that in a while, ito na siguro yung isa sa mga pinakamagagandang conference, or at least so far, nitong si Banquero since maybe his early Alaska days.
Alam mo, pag si Banquero, pagka 100% healthy or at least close to 100% healthy, he's got one speed. Yeah. This guy, makikita mo yung sa pagsayaw pa lang, sa pagbaba pa lang ng bola, pagka crossover na, pag kumilos na yung pagka-slithery niya, makita mo pagka sobrang ganado siya. And he was showing that even with Phoenix. He was showing that back in Alaska. Pero he was coming back to tip-top shape right there at the tail end of his Phoenix career. So, nothing but up yan, nothing but upside. And bukas na bukas, makikita natin first game kagad yan. 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock tip-off natin when Meralco takes on NLEX. It should be interesting times para dito sa Bolts.
9 points, 2.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 1 steal, 40% shooting Pinto, tapos magiging 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, tapos 2.4 steals at 55% shooting for Chris Banquero. That is a great addition for the Meralco Bolts.
And meron pa rin naman mga ibang gwardiya sa Meralco, even sina Aaron Black. Now you get to play behind a guy like Banquero. You get to learn a lot. Banquero's been around, di ba? Naglaro na rin sa mga ibang liga si Banquero before, around Asia and all that. So he brings a ton of experience to that squad.
Adrian Wong also signing with a new team, no? Yung kanyang story is different from the other four kasi hindi siya part ng 2014 draft, no? Yung naging issue nitong si Adrian Wong was that his contract expired with the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters. They did not reach an agreement, and Rain or Shine was nice enough to say, okay, I mean, if we can reach an agreement, we release you from all of your responsibilities with us, and you are free to sign with any other team.
Napakalaking bagay, no? That's class on the part of Rain or Shine, of course, the owners, Raymond Terike, and the president of basketball operations na nila ngayon, si Coach Caloy Garcia, and sila Coach Chris Gabina, na the guy is young enough and he has potential, pero wala lang siyang spot in that lineup, lalong-lalo na. One of the Nietos already landed now. Mamaya dadaanan din natin yan, yung mga Gilas boys from the yung 5 from the past, now making their entry into the PBA. So si Adrian Wong, they released him, yun naman, hindi siya lumipat. Binitawan siya, may kumuwang iba. So yun nga po yung laro nun yung hindi ka tali sa isang poste, kumbaga. You gotta love the movement right now.
So let's see if Adrian Wong will be able to make a bigger impact sa kanyang bagong kupunan na Magnolia as compared to his, limited opportunities with the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters. Yan po yung 5 players who had their contract expired and then signed with new teams sa pagsisimula ulit ng ating Governors Cup. I think you and I will agree, Magu, na itong si Chris Banquero yung magiging pinakamalaking impact among these 5 players. But who's the second one sa palagay mo?
Tingin ko itong for the immediate future baka si Pinto, pero in the long run I think Matt Ganuelas-Rosser. I think Matt Ganuelas-Rosser would be a perfect fit over there at TNT.
Kasi if you're looking at TNT right now, posibleng bumalik na si Troy Rosario, di ba? He hasn't played a game yet in the Governors Cup. But that 3 spot, you see Gab Banal getting some minutes, you see Glenn Cobuntin getting some minutes. So, pwede silang mamigay talaga ng minuto in that 3 spot. There's no player who owns a majority of the minutes in the small forward position sa team nila.
Lalo na for this month in particular, maybe all the way into March, dahil double duty in TNT. Half of those guys are going to be training with Gilas too. So the other half, they'll probably get more responsibility in the 4 games they're going to be playing until the 20th. In the next week and a half, 4 na laro ang titirahin ng TNT para lang to get those games under their belt para ma-free up sila to get ready para sa 24 to 28, Feb 24 to 28, yung FIBA qualifiers natin, Carlo.
Yep. So yan na po ang ating mga free agents who signed with different teams. Pinto going to Inebra from Meralco, Rodney Brondial bumalik kay Coach Leo Austria, leaving Alaska for SMB. Matt Ganuelas-Rosser with his TNT homecoming from Terra Firma. Phoenix losing itong si Chris Banquero to Meralco, and Adrian Wong released by Rain or Shine, signing with Magnolia. New faces for those particular teams. And speaking of new faces, in terms of imports, meron din tayong mga bagong makakasama, bagong makikita dito sa PBA. May mga magbabalik, pero meron ding mga bagong muka that will be introduced by a couple of teams when we start our competitions again, Magu.
Pero bago yan, ito, diretso na natin. Mamaya natin babalikan yung mga nag-expire na hindi pa natin alam kung saan mapupunta. Kasi may question na rin dito. Mamaya, pasada natin. Imports, ayan. May 4 na bagong import. Actually, 3 yung sure. Yung isa backup for now, yung sa Phoenix. Just in case na hindi pa good to go si Paul Harris. Dahil tandaan natin ng last game ng Phoenix back in December, hamstring injury. Alam naman natin, Carla, pagka hamstring, napakatagal talaga na makarecover para dyan. So hopefully for Phoenix, Paul Harris gets better. But in the meantime, meron silang backup yung dating import naman na San Beda.
Yep, Donald Tangqua na naglaro again, as you said, for the San Beda Red Lions in the NCAA. Metropac San Beda naman yung pinaglaruan niya sa PBA D-League, of course. We know what he can do, what he's capable of. He's a bruiser. In terms of talent, in terms of versatility, maybe not in the same level as the other imports that we have in the PBA. Pero if you're Phoenix, kesa wala kang makuhang import, di ba? Might as well sign someone who is in the country para wala nang issues with getting him a visa from wherever he is. Kaya naman, dyan muna pumusta itong Phoenix. Again, we still don't know if he will be playing. Paul Harris could be better by then, by the time that they play, and they could just very well go back to him.
Pero even if this guy plays 1 or 2 games, tandaan natin yung PBA rule, a lot of people forget. Pagka pinalitan mo original import, lalo na due to injury, pero minsan kahit di nga injured, testing ka lang ng iba. Basta yung original import ay na-replace, pwede mo ibalik. Pero pagka yung second import na, hindi na pwedeng ibalik yon. Or pag binalik mo na yung original, tapos pinalitan mo palit, hindi na. So one time deal lang yung pwede magbalik ng import. And yun, pwedeng pang gawin ng Phoenix, pwede mong palaruin muna si Tangkua, and then ibalik si Harris, or baka nga sabi ni Carlo, good to go na. Speaking of injured imports, etong sa Northport naman. Alam natin, sa 4 games, ano ba Northport? 0-4, no? Dalawang
Yeah, 0-4 tama.
Dadalawang laro ang nalaro ng import nila dahil nga na-injure. So now they're bringing in this guy, si NBA player to si Jamel Artis, Carlo, to try and arrest this kid, especially because they are gonna be missing some key guys who are part of that, yung pinag-uusapan natin na nag-expire na hindi pa pumipirma or hindi pa natin alam kung saan papunta.
Yep. Pero quickly, pasadahan muna natin yung mga bagong import. No? Orlando Johnson going to the San Miguel Beermen. Sabi mo nga, Jamel Artis to Northport. At itong si Sean Glover going to the Blackwater Bossing. Yan po yung tatlong siguradong replacement imports. I think they're already in the country, nakapag-practice now with their respective teams, and we're very excited to see them again. Orlando Johnson has been... What? Yes, Mago.
Dahil lang just because may mga nagpalit na import, siguro sila lang nakaisip na or siguro sila lang nakaramdam na may konting blessing in disguise itong 1 month off natin.
Sure.
Dahil yun yung pinag-uusapan natin ng December, di ba? Pag magpapalit kang import ngayon, napakahirap dahil merong 10 days na dati, 10 days pa yung pagka-quarantine ka, tapos naging 5 days, and syempre, all with everything surrounding it, ngayon nabawasan na halos lahat yun, nagkaroon ng pagkakataong mag-ensayo lahat ng mga bagong import na to, Carlo.
Yep, and I'm sure na maraming mga PBA fans yung familiar pa rin dito sa import ng SMB. Naglaro for Barangay Inebra in the past. Itong si Orlando Johnson, napakagaling na player. Halimaw yung mga numerong kayang gawin itong si Johnson. Of course, they had Brandon Brown to start with. Pero sabi mo nga, no, in terms of the teams that they defeated, it was not a big statement for SMB just yet. So alam natin yung SMB, it's championship or bust. You're always gunning for a championship if you are wearing a San Miguel jersey, and they thought that it would be better. No, okay, upgrade na tayo. Brandon Brown was okay, but we know for a fact that Orlando Johnson is better.
It comes with the territory. You put on that San Miguel jerseys, the San Miguel team, that fabled franchise signs you, they expect a certain level na. Sabi mo nga, championship or nothing. Pagka nagra-runner-up to o nagto-third place, fourth place, natatanggal semis, lalo na syempre pag natanggal ng very disappointed ng management because that is the standard they set for themselves, which is why they are the winningest franchise in the history of the PBA. Orlando Johnson, let's remind everybody again, naalala ko yun, nandito siya dati, never ever call him OJ. He does not like that. Ayaw niyang tawagin siya OJ for obvious reasons. Yung pagka-explosive nito. And mas siya yung pinalitan niya, parang big man na tira ng tira sa labas. Si Orlando Johnson, mas perimeter player talaga, which will loosen things up for Junmar, Mo, Vic Manuel. Si Brondial nandun na ngayon, pero di ba parang mas babagay ito sa San Miguel, which is what we've seen before. Ano pangalan na to? Si McCullough and all that. All these, all these guys na dead shot sa labas, mas bumabagay talaga sa San Miguel. Let's see what happens. They lost back-to-back, but they won 3 in a row before that break. But they beat 3 teams that were below them. So let's see what happens when they actually compete against yung mga kamatch na or better teams than them so far.
Sino ba yung unang laro ng San Miguel Beermen? Tignan mo yung schedule, Mago. Tignan mo very quickly yung schedule. It will be the TNT Tropang Giga.
Sunday ito, no?
Yeah, no, next Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, Feb 16. Yan yung magiging unang assignment na tong San Miguel Beermen in 2022. So immediately, that's a really good battle para testingin kung ano nga ba yung madadala nitong si Orlando Johnson to the table for the Beermen.
And we mentioned TNT's playing 4 games in the next week and a half.
Yep.
That is going to be TNT's 3rd game. So those guys are going to be in such a rhythm. Tignan natin ano mangyayari. That's a Wednesday game. Feb 16 again. Chismis natin. Baka pwede ng tao sa Araneta. We'll find out by Sunday. By Sunday, Monday, we'll all find out pag pinayagan na makapasok ang fans sa venue sa Smart Araneta Coliseum.
Sabi nitong si Himlord Denison Salvador Alfonso, it will be very interesting to see the match between Justin Brownlee and Orlando Johnson. That is correct. Another former Barangay Inebra import versus Justin Brownlee. That's very interesting, and I'm excited to see that as well.
That's on Feb 20.
Mm-hmm.
February 20, next Sunday, 2 Sundays from now, it is Inebra versus San Miguel. Second game yon. First game of that day is Rain or Shine versus Meralco. So, TNT, tapos Inebra. Orlando Johnson's gonna have a hell of a week. He's about to have a hell of a week in the PBA. Ang ganda nung salubong sa'yo, no? Pagbabalik mo ganun kagad.
Mataas yung level agad. You have to hit the ground running. Before we go on to our next part of the discussion, siguro magubati muna ulit tayo ng mga nanonood. And sagot tayo ng mga katanungan ng ating viewers over at 2OT and dito sa Smart Sports rin. Sabi ni Cory Domingo, live po ba ang mga laban dito sa Smart Sports? Kasi walang TV dito sa amin. Lahat po ng second game magiging live dito sa Smart Sports. So all of those second games, pakibilugan nyo na kung nandyan yung team nyo, then it's guaranteed that it will be there. It will be airing on Smart Sports. Kung hindi man and you are a Smart subscriber, download nyo lang po yung Smart Giga Play dahil lahat po ng laro, from top to bottom, from the elimination round up until the last game of the finals, all of it will be airing on Smart Giga Play. So for all Smart subscribers out there, lalo na napakabilis na nung internet ng Smart, ng data nila. It's been proven. So just download that app and watch all of the games there.
Magandang gabi kay Chester Soriano. It's been a while. More power to 2OT. Si Ate Gemma, nakatutok ngayon. Good evening, Carlo.
May utang pa tayong ticket dyan, Magu.
Ha?
May utang pa tayong ticket kay Ate Gemma.
Si Chard may utang, di ba? Ate Gemma, pag pinayagan na, hingi ka natin kay Chard. Si Chard ang hilig na mag-guest sa atin, hinihingan pa natin ticket. Wala naman bayad. Hindi na natin binabayaran, tayo pa nanghihingi. Bayad talaga ni Chard.
May shoutout ka, Magu? Ako muna, sige.
Si Ate Gemma nagtatanong if pwede tao sa political rally, dapat daw pwede din sa PBA. Ngo naman.
Mataas daw yung bigayan, Magu eh. Mataas daw yung bigayan eh. Baka may mga kailangan dyan ng ano. na magtataas ng kamay nila. Di tayo politika, Magu. Pa-shoutout kay Michael Orobia.
Batuin kitang turon eh.
Magu, pag binato mo ko ng turon, tatanggapin kong maluwag sa loob. Basta bagong luto.
Kita mo na sa tagal lang walang basketball, lahat na lang ng bagay na entertain tayo.
Teka lang.
Balik na tayo sa basketball.
Shout out kay Michael Orobia. Gamit ko lang account ng nanay ko para makanood ng 2OT. Kasi yung nanonood dito, pag yung nanonood, nakalagay, Marilyn Ponce. So, magandang gabi, Michael Orobia, at magandang gabi rin sa nanay mong si Ma'am Marilyn Ponce. Magandang gabi po sa inyo.
Thank you, tita. Pinahiram mo po.
Para siya yung gumamit ng data ng nanay niya. TNT Nation daw, itong si Michael Orobia. Maya Pabengi Cabalen, sabi ni Rafi Carlos, magandang gabi po sa inyo. Hope you are doing well. Kung nasan po, man po kayo ngayon. Rob Cabardo, shout out from Cebu. Si James Putian, Darwin Martinez. Pa-shout out po Sir Bimbi Pamintuan. Politika yan eh. Wag ganon. Tawag akong Dilawans. Kerwin Glenn Bernal, shout out from San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. Joel Dagsil, Carl Joshua, Edwin Hilde Guzman, June Tesalona Insigne, Michael Montero. Yan po ang ating mga shout out. Tsaka si
meron pa sa
Garcia Casina.
Meron pa sa YouTube Sa YouTube din Live tayo ngayon sa YouTube.
Nice.
Si Ronald Arnilio, welcome back Sir Carlos, Sir Magu. Pa-shoutout din daw si Sammy Gomez. Saan po ang venue bukas? Tanong ni Randolph Binoya. Wala pa pong fans. Hopefully next week we will keep everybody updated. Kahit hindi kayo sa amin tumutok. Kahit sino pong yung PBA Connect, sa One Sports, GMA Sports, Tiebreaker Times, lahat po sigurado pag pwede na fans. Lahat po mag-a-announce. Kaput Draconish, shout out po, more power to 2OT. Sana maglaro ang PBA sa Qatar, sabi ni Joseph Barredo. Kapag ka po okay na, sigurado magkakaroon ng Middle East. Di ba bago magpandemya, pinaplano na yan? Dubai yata or Qatar? Naunsya mo po lahat. Siguro in a few more years pag umayos sa lahat, magkakaroon din po ulit ng ganyan. Watching from QC, si Joe Atencio. Exciting na nga daw po bukas. Yes, sirs. Shout out to Ballers in Paris from June. Vispo. Ba? Sa Paris, Carlo?
Pwede tayong pupunta dyan.
No, patigit ka naman, sirs. Tayo naman ang hingin ng ticket. Roswell Goral, hello daw. Joseph Barredo, welcome back OFW from Qatar. Happy to see back the PBA. Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat, pati si Sir Hugot. Yan.
Magu, gusto ko lang linawin pag po nag-comment kayo ng mga politiko, hindi po namin babasahin ni Magu. Kasi we don't want this to become an avenue na magiging ganun yung diskusyon. Pero pag may gusto kayong pabating politiko, gawin nyo lang po, i-paymaya nyo yung account namin. Sa comment section, lagyan nyo yung pangalan, tapos pwede namin i-consider banggitin. Diba? Hindi libre. Mataas na yung bigayan, Magu
maglalagay ka ba ng yung mga crawl ng number? May crawl lang na gano'n, may number.
Tumigil na tayo, Magu, baka ano na namang masabi mo
Hoy, mga taga Batangas, kamusta po kayo? Sabi ni Jed Hernandez, shout out daw and happy birthday kay Gabe. Uy, si Gabe Norwood, birthday nga. Sino si JG? Galing kay Klaus Lagumen yan. Si Gabe Norwood sigurado. Si JG, happy birthday din. Hindi ko lang ma-sure kung sino si JG.
Okay, Magu, kanina pinag-usapan natin lahat ng mga pumirma ng bagong kontrata. May it be with their teams, may it be with other teams like the free agents that we discussed. Next part of our PBA Governors Cup Restart preview conversation will be about yung mga players who decided not to sign their offers. Malaking bagay yan for a team like Northport Batang Pier because as of listing, there are three specific players na hindi nag-renew. So far, as of this moment, hindi pa nakakapag-renew with Northport, Magu.
Yung decision nila is wag muna mag-decision as of now. We don't know what their decision is going to be, and everybody's got to respect everybody's decision and thought process on this. Of course, we're talking about Greg Zilla. Yan ang dami-dami nagtatanong kanina pa. Kamusta na raw si Greg? He expired and we're still not sure. Kailan ba laro ng Northport? Pinakamadali po yan pag may laro na sila tapos nandun din kami ni Carlos sa venue. Malalaman natin.
Sa Sabado.
Mas madaling makakuha ng chismis ng harap-harapan. Mas madaling makipagkwentuhan Yeah. On Saturday or as we go along, we will try and find out even from Greg himself. Ikaw, what do you see in this situation right now, Carlo?
Kailangan nating linawin, Magu, hindi po pareho ng sitwasyon yung mga players from 2014 to Robert Bolick and Greg Slaughter. Hindi yan equal. Hindi po sila pwedeng pumirma sa kahit anong gusto nilang koponan because that right to be an unrestricted free agent belongs to 2014 for this year.
Next year, ganito lang po yan. Next year, 2015 and 2014. Sa susunod, 16, 15, 14. Ganun lang po yun. Nagsimula lang po kasi yung rule na yan nung kay Commissioner Attorney Chito Salud pa and they gave a moratorium of 7 years. So ginawa nila 7 years by 2021 lahat na mag-expire doon game na. Free agency na. So as we go along, everybody who's been with that original contract for 7 years o na-renew na or whatever, tsaka lang po magkakakarapatan after 7 years. So it may be a little too long, but may investment sa draft pick So you give the teams the 7 years.
So what we're saying right now is dun sa lahat na magko-comment na Greg, pumirma ka na lang dito sa team na to or Robert Bolick, pumirma ka na lang dun sa team na to, hindi po pwede yan. It could not happen because Northport will retain their rights. Tandaan natin, na-draft itong si Greg Slaughter 2013. So he will not be a part of this movement. So all of the players who were drafted before 2014, as of the plans right now, wala sila nung karapatan na meron yung mga 2014 and onwards.
Pero, correct me if I'm wrong. They still have some sort of wiggle room because they are restricted
free agents.
Which means, kung meron pong ibang team na mag-o-offer sa kanila, ang gagawin lang po ng Northport, pagka na-receive yung offer na yan, pwedeng i-match. Pag minatch, Northport ka pa rin. Pag hindi minatch, move on.
Yeah.
Ibig sabihin, bibitawan ka ng Northport. Yun po yung pagkakaiba ng katulad sa sinasabi ni Carlos sa unrestricted free agent tsaka sa restricted free agent.
Itong si Mark Ronald De Leon, sabi niya, magandang gabi po, Sir Magu and Sir Carlo from a Northport fan. And right now, Mark Ronald, I feel your pain. I mean, mawalan ka ng Robert Bolick at Greg Slaughter, at least for now, Lahat po ng sinasabi natin, lahat ng discussion natin is as of this moment, for now.
So, Thursday night, parang may timestamp lang tayo
Yep,
na
9:55 p.m. Hindi pa po sila nakakapirma ng bagong kontrata. And as a result, itong Northport tried to load up on other players. Pinapirma nila ng kontrata sina Roy Sumang, itong si Alvin Abundo, si Chris Dumapig also signed a contract. Tapos unfortunately, minalas pa sila, no? An injury dito kay Gray, itong si Jonathan Gray, re-injuring his knee once again. So we wish him well. Nakakalungkot, no? Hindi makuha talaga nitong si Jonathan yung tamang momentum sa career niya because of all these injuries.
Lalo na ngayon na hindi pa wala pa si eksena si Bolick. That could have been an opportunity para dito kay Gray. Sayang lang pagka minsan malas lang talaga kung malas. Hopefully pagkatapos na itong injury nito, hopefully magtuloy-tuloy na si Jonathan Gray. We'll all just look forward, or we'll all just hope for the best para kay Jonathan. Alam natin si Kevin Ferrer kapipirma lang din ng 2 years yata sa Northport. That was in the past couple of weeks. So, sabi mo nga, sila Coach Pido and Boss Eric and the rest of management trying to do the best they can to put on a competitive squad.
Paulo Taha also signed, I think, a 3-year deal with Northport. So at least they have those players locked in. Arvin Santos, of course, is still there. So meron pa rin, may bala pa rin itong Northport. Unfortunately, at least for the next game or whatever, wala sa Northport sila Robert Bolick, Greg Slaughter at Nico Elorde. I think may lumabas na nabalita kay Nico Elorde. He did not want to sign a 2-year dahil magiging unrestricted free agent siya next year. I think that was he wanted a 1 year para pagkatapos noon, unrestricted free agent, pwedeng pumirma kahit kaninong kupunan. So
yun, may mga ganong diskarte. Yeah. And for us PBA fans, bago sa atin to eh. So it will take a little getting to used to. Yeah. Naalala ko nung first 2 weeks of January, marami nang nag-iingay na hindi daw maganda yung rule. Let's give it a chance. Because the players, it's a different dimension to the game, to the professional league that we all love. It's a different dimension to it. Makita mo naman, some teams, they make sure na they lock in their players, they keep everybody happy. Yung ibang players naman from other teams, they are looking for somewhere that they will be happy. So let's see what happens. And again, it's not about just the money, it's about opportunity, it's about where you're going to grow more. Let's see how the players and their agents tackle this new thing we call absolute free agency sa ating PBA.
Dalawa lang po yung pwedeng mangyari kina Robert Bolick, Nico Elorde at Greg Slaughter sa PBA. It's either they sign with Northport to play with Northport again, or their rights are traded by Northport and they sign with a new team. That's the only two options for those three to play in the PBA again.
Wala bang dyan? Tatanong ko lang tong third option na. Parang sa NBA, syempre, pinapattern nga natin yung kalaman. Wala bang sign and trade?
It could be. But again, it has to involve a trade.
Kasi baka mas malaking, wala pang ganun yata. Yung mas malaki pwede offer sa'yo ng home mother team mo kaysa pumirma ka sa iba. Kaya ginagawa sa NBA, di ba, sign and trade para mas makuha pa rin yung maximum money nila.
It will be the exact same max offered by both teams. So, in essence, pwedeng sign and trade, but it's not worth much.
Yeah.
Diba? Kasi pareho lang naman yung mangyayari.
So magpa-trade ka na lang, trade na lang yung rights, and then you negotiate your new contract there. Kung saan ka mamatrade.
Correct. Okay. And again, that is for them to play in the PBA once again. With their other options, we know that there are other players who wanted to try their luck elsewhere. Itong si Roosevelt Adams, alam natin, hindi na pumirma sa Terra Firma to try his luck elsewhere. Good luck to him. But as of the PBA,
may kumuha na ba doon? Wala pa yata.
I'm not sure. But as of the PBA for Northport, again, it's either you sign with Northport again and play for them again, or they trade your rights to someone else. Unless that happens, hindi muna natin makikita sina Greg Slaughter at Robert Bolick in the PBA. Again, those are the rights of the players, and yun din naman yung rights ng teams, yun yung protection ng teams. Kaya naging ganun yung ruling na yun. So, a big challenge awaiting Northport bago yung import mo. nawalan ka ng main gunner, nawalan ka ng main big man. So let's see how they will be able to survive itong mga unang laro nila in the Governors Cup restart.
Yun.
Alright.
Tama.
Yep.
Wala akong madagdag eh. Tama.
Another discussion that we have, yung mga kakapirma lang na players, as we want to say hi once again sa lahat ng nanonood sa atin dito sa 2OT. Thank you for sticking with us. May you be watching on 2OT, sa Smart Sports, or sa YouTube page ng 2OT. Maraming salamat po. Salamat sa pagtambay kasama namin dito ngayong gabi to discuss the PBA. Yes, Mago.
I just want to address this. Si Mikael Ackerfeld, SMC MVP lang ang nakikinabang ng sobra sa free agency. Just to lay all the cards out on the table from my point of view lang, hindi kasalanan ng SMC teams, hindi kasalanan ng MVP teams yan. Yung ibang teams, it's up to them to try and compete for the rights of these free agents. It's just like the NBA. You see teams like OKC, they got rid of all of their players, puro draft picks ang kinuha. Ganun lang po yung balanse nun. Wala pong makukuwang player, yung mga tinitingnan yung teams ng SMC at MVP, kung wala pong nagbibigay o bumibitaw dun sa players. Kung ima-match po nila, why not? Kung mapapangalagaan nila yung players to stay with them, then it's on them. Hindi po kasalanan ng all of these teams, they're there to win. They want to win, they want to put together the best team possible. Yung SMC teams, yung MVP teams, they want to be competitive. They want their teams in the semis, in the finals all the time. And they will do all they can for their teams. Yung liga po, yung PBA, papangalagaan yung buo. Yung SMC teams, papangalagaan yung teams sila. Yung MVP teams, papangalagaan nila yung sarili nila. Alaska's doing the same. Rain or Shine is doing the same. Phoenix is doing the same. Yung ibang teams po, ang hanapan nyo ng, yun ang i-criticize nyo. Huwag po yung ibang team. Yung ang criticize nyo, yung mga hindi nahawakan yung players nila. Yun lang.
For me, Maguren, another part of that discussion is kung ano ba talaga yung gustong mangyari ng player, di ba? If you are chasing a championship, if you trace back 10 years, isang dekada, mabibilang mo sa isang kamay yung hindi SMC or MVP team na nag-champion. You're talking about Rain or Shine, I think a couple of times, and Alaska, maybe 2 more times. And then that's it. Diba? It's been dominated by TNT and either Inebra, San Miguel, or the Magnolia franchise. So if you're a player looking for a team na dadalin ka hanggang dulo, hanggang finals, all those one-game bonuses, all those championship bonuses, kung gusto mong pangalagaan yung pamilya mo in that situation, I think, diba, marami sa atin, pupusta dun sa malakas. Diba? Sino ba naman yung player na ayaw nun? All of the players want that opportunity. Sure, may mga ibang players na gusto yung challenge, na gusto yung pupunta ako dito sa koponan na to kahit ganun kalakas, tutulungan ko silang maging malakas, tutulungan ko silang maging champion. Sure.
Pero bigyan natin example sa NBA. Dame Lillard. Sinasabi na lahat, dapat mag-ring chase na, dapat lumipat na sa bigger market, ganito because bigger markets mean better money, more chances of winning. Sabi ni Dame Lillard, he's staying. Binaklas na nila yung team niya. Si CJ McCollum na trade na. They're gonna build a brand new team around Dame Lillard. Ngayon, pag nagkaroon tayo ng PBA player na ganun, dito ako sa lower tier team, buo nyo ako ng supporting cast ko. Tsaka natin ang guluhan na ganun. Wala pang ang ganun eh.
Yeah.
At the same time, Carlo, just to finish it off, all of these people naman, coaches, head coaches, coaching staff, management, upper management, hanggang sa actual team manager, these guys are looking for talents then that will help them win. Kasi tandaan natin, pagka po hindi nagpapanalong team, tanggal din ang mga tauhan, mga coach, mga assistant coach, nagkakatanggalan po. You are only as good as your last conference. Ganun lang po ang laban dito. Cutthroat ang PBA. Kailangan manalo. You do all you can to win, and I have nothing but respect for that kind of mentality. Gawin ang lahat para lang manalo ang iyong team.
For our final point of discussion sa ating pagbabalik dito sa 2OT, the Gilas Pilipinas special draftees have all signed. Lahat na. As of today, kani-kanina lang, di ba? A few hours ago, pumirma na itong si Isaac Go for the Terra Firma Jeep. Kaya kompleto na ang ating cast. 5 players, all signing with their respective mother teams in the PBA. So we're introducing young blood into the PBA once again. Alin Bolanadi for the Alaska Aces, Ray Suerte para sa Blackwater, Isaac Go, as we said, for Terra Firma, Matt Nieto for the NLEX Road Warriors, and Mike Nieto for the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters. In terms of impact, Magu, is Isaac Go expected to lead these five in terms of his value and what he can bring to the table from day one para sa kanilang mga koponan?
What a relief para dito sa Terra Firma to finally get a guy like Isaac Go to play for them. Tanda natin yung big man nila, yung napunta na Magnolia eh.
Lapot.
Yung number 8 pick, that 6'8" guy, wala na doon.
James Lapot.
And that was before this conference even started, di ba? After the Philippine Cup. Roosevelt Adams is gone.
Yeah.
We're not sure if Joshua Monzon is in town.
I think he's here. I think he's here.
Dumating na.
I think he'll be back in action. Yeah.
So, Alex Cabagnot still injured, of course, but you got a nice young core there. Alex Cabagnot's still going to be in the background. John Del Cardel, team manager Ronald Tube, they're doing a heck of a job with what they have right now. They're trying to put together a competitive team, pero you still need talent. Yung pyesa, kailangan mo nga. They got Isaac Go now for 2 years. Hopefully, this will turn things around para sa Terra Firma. They were exciting back in the last bubble, Carlo.
For sure. Lalo na may Wami Chongson na mainit pa rin yung bitaw ng bola. So, Isaac Go could definitely add something to the table, add a big man na nakakatira sa labas. Sino ba yung may ayaw niyan? I mean, all of the teams would benefit from having a center who could shoot from the outside. But we are already...
Napagkwento natin kanina si Kahilig, di ba? Nakalimutan ko sino may nag-comment eh. Kaya mahilig daw makipagpalit ng muka. Lugi nga, baka siya nga lugi, nakipagpalit ng mukhang kanina. Pero a team like this, Kahilig, si Magic Chongson,
Aldred.
si Aldred, she's been solid. Kamson is there, he's a solid vet. And then you got a guy like Isaac Go and a few key pieces off that bench. Should be interesting times para sa Terra Firma.
Tapos yung import nilang parang bato-bato yung katawan na, di ba, who could operate inside. You surround them with big men who can shoot from the outside, and then you can maybe be competitive against the other PBA teams. Pero
lakas mga labaw nung import.
Oo eh. Sobrang excited din yung Alaska, and we've already seen a statement from Coach Jeffrey Carriazo that they are happy to have Alin Bolanadi in the squad. Ikaw, alam ko, na-cover mo rin to, of course, in the PBA D-League. Unfortunately, injured siya for much of the stint with Gilas Pilipinas. But what can you tell us about this player?
Ni isang laro yata hindi nakalaro sa Gilas, no?
Yeah.
Diba? Every time there's a tournament around the corner, he somehow gets hurt.
Yeah.
Hopefully, what he's shown to Coach Jeff Carriazo went on Twitter, and he was really looking forward to having this guy, Alin Bolanadi. He's been impressed, to say the least. Sabi ni Coach Jeff, saan na ba yung tweet ni Coach Jeff? Andiyan na ba yung Guaps? And yung nag-tweet out nga si Coach Jeff the other day, I think that was on the 7th. And he was really impressed, White background pa ginamit nito. Hirap basahin.
Ako na. It's only been 2 days with the Aces, but so what's more impressive about Alin Bolanadi is his high character. I'll comment on this more later. And yeah, he can play a little bit. Welcome to Alaska, sabi ni Coach.
Natuwa ko yung pang-asar niya. Yeah, he can play a little bit. Alam mo si Coach Jeff, padihado.
Dry humor ni Coach Jeff.
There is a reason why this guy went through the special Gilas draft. There was potential back then. That potential was never realized when he was with that program for 2 years. Sa ensayo, nakikita nila, Gilas Insiders, sina Coach Ryan Gregorio and all of them, were telling us, okay itong Alin, okay itong Bolanadi, mukhang solid, pero minalas yung timing every time may tournament o may paglalaruan, na-injure. Hopefully, naipagpag na niya yung injury bug na yan pagpasok niya ngayon sa PBA, Carlo.
Speaking of malas sa timing, yun din yung nangyari kina Ray Suerte at Matt Nieto, no? Both of these players practice for ilang bubbles? 2 or 3 bubble yung sinamahan nitong si Suerte at
nagiging last cuts to mga to, di ba?
They were injured. They were supposed to
be nagiging last cuts because of injury. So, hindi sila yung initial cut eh. Ando na, magne-name na line na biglang na-injure. Yun yung malas dun eh.
Sprained ankle, alam ko itong si Suerte, si Matt naman, I think it was a fracture in one of his fingers that eliminated them from contention dun sa FIBA Asia Cup. Kaya nga pinanganak yung mga Jordan Heading, sina SJ Belangel, sina RJ
Yan.
Abarientos, all given opportunities to play. But make no mistake about it, Suerte and Matt Nieto are outstanding players. You know, Suerte is confident in his
Tapos
ability.
ni Coach Dondon Ontiveros to.
Oo.
Yung swerte, Cebuano to eh. Si Coach Dondon ang kasama
tira niya. Ganda ng tira niya mula sa labas, and Matt Nieto is a
dead
leader.
shot, solid.
Yep.
Solid. Any angle, any distance, yung Ray Suerte. Let's see if he can bring it to the PBA stage. And he's on a team that will give him the opportunity. Blackwater needs firepower.
Yep.
If it's one thing they need, it's somebody to put the ball in the hoop. He will be given all kinds of opportunities over there. Hopefully, he makes the most of it.
And Matt Nieto can shine in a system like, you know, like the NLEX Road Warriors kasi bibigyan siya ng pagkakataon eh. You know Coach Yang Giao and how he enjoys giving players opportunities to shine, and a smart player under Coach Yang Giao system, that could be something for Matt Nieto. Mike Nieto, I think he landed with the perfect team. Yung rain or shine is perfect for him kasi he is the kind of player who will not produce stats, but he will make his team better. He communicates well, good leadership qualities, very smart player, and he can hit the occasional 3-point shot. So bagay na bagay para sa rain or shine din.
I remember when these guys were drafted in that special draft, there was some backlash. There was a lot of criticism. Now that, because lalong-lalo na kasi we never really got to see them play.
Yeah.
Now that they're going to be making their way, barging into the PBA, onto the PBA stage, ito na ang pagkakataon nilang patunayan. Bakit ba sila nasama sa special draft na yun? At patunayan din sarili nila ngayon na eto na, binigyan na kayo ng kontrata ng mga mother team nyo sa PBA, hindi na SBP yung contract nyo, nandito na kayo sa PBA, it's gonna be up to them to prove that they truly do belong on this stage.
So 4 unrestricted free agent signings, 5 Gilas signings, 9 players with new uniforms, possibly 4 imports na magde-debut sa kanilang mga bagong kupunan in the PBA. All of that resulting to just a lot of excitement, Magu, as we head into the restart of our PBA Governors Cup na magsisimula po bukas at the Smart Araneta Coliseum, pero hindi muna mag-aalaw ng fans because of the current situation with the pandemic. So
1 week lang. Sana 1 week lang.
Is munang konti. Kami muna nila Magu yung magkikita doon. But of course, as always, you are more than welcome to join us on TV5, on One Sports, on PBA Rush. Tapos syempre sa Smart Giga Play na pwede nyong i-download sa App Store, and all of the second games of all game days are also airing on the Smart Sports Facebook page.
Alam mo, Carlo, because we've been through the stages eh. Mula Clark Bubble hanggang doon sa nangyari dito sa Bacolor, off-tube. Ikaw pala, pumasok ka pa pala sa Clark, di ba? Pero nung una, nag-off-tube ka rin naman, di ba? Off-tube meaning nanonood lang kaming TV. And then, naging live at venue tayo sa Inares Pasig. Yung tay-tay lang, closed door pa rin, no fans. And then, paglipat sa Araneta, doon natin naramdaman yung hindi pa nga full effect eh, because limited yung fans eh. Kailangan every other seat and all that. I think we topped off at 5,000 on Christmas Day. Pero inaantay natin ulit. Ngayon, magiging closed door muna ulit. In venue tayo pero wala pang fans. Hopefully in a week meron ng fans, and hopefully magtuloy-tuloy na parang dati na ulit, Carlo, na lahat tayo magkakasama na ulit nag-enjoy ng PBA basketball.
Kasi may nakita akong study eh. Scientific na study. Na nakita daw talaga ng mga scientifico na mas kumakalat yung virus pag nanonood kayo ng sports. Pag daw politika, tapos dikit-dikit kayo, walang problema. Pwede daw yun. Wala daw yun. Kahit dikit-dikit kayo lahat, okay lang daw. Pero pag nanonood kayo sa venue, tapos basketball, baka daw mas kumakalat. Ano yun? Scientific.
Parang yung Super Bowl, hanggang ngayon may kontrobersya kay tutuloy yung mask rule o hindi, no? Super Bowl's on Monday morning, Valentine's Day, 13 sa States, 14 sa atin. Kailangan nakamask doon sa SoFi Stadium. Unless you're actively eating. Wala kang ginawa mga tao doon, first to third quarter, hindi kumain eh. Nachos, hotdog. Fourth quarter yan, digdigan na yan, magsisigawan na, nakamask na. Pero di ba? So, pati, hindi lang sa atin. Pero hopefully,
Yung sa amin lang, yun lang sa amin po ni Mago.
Hopefully hindi na rin nakakahawa sa sports next time.
Yung sa amin lang, gusto lang namin kayong makasama, yung fans.
Yan.
Gusto lang namin nandun kayo because ramdam namin yung energy and the players, of course, mas ramdam nila yung energy mo. So, kung ano yung pinapayagan sa mga ibang bagay, sana payagan na rin sa PBA para masaya naman ang ating buhay because we miss PBA action. It's back and we're hoping to have fans in the venue very, very soon. Bago, tignan na natin yung ating mga schedule. Ano nga ba yung mga laro na hihintayin nating mapanood? And these will be starting tomorrow, Feb 11. Meralco Bolts 2-0 against the team with the most wins in the Governor's Cup, NLEX Road Warriors at 3 p.m.
The top two scorers in the PBA. Dalawang import niyan.
Yep.
They're the two top scorers right now. So that should be an explosive matchup dahil yun nga. NLEX gustong 4-1, gustong simulan yung 2022 nila by getting back on the winning track. Meralco naman, gustong patunayan na yung immaculate record nila should be right where it is right now.
Second game, Magnolia versus TNT in a rematch of the Philippine Cup Finals. Yan po ang doubleheader for Feb 11. Lipat tayo ng Feb 12. The race out of the cellar is on definitely for the Blackwater Bossing and the Terra Firma Jeep. Maraming mga bagong players. New import even for Blackwater. We will see how all of the ingredients come together for those particular teams. Sila ang maglalaro in the first game on Saturday.
Lalong-lalo na, alam naman natin, mula nung pumasok sa PBA ng sabay ang Blackwater tsaka Terra Firma, talagang magandang, may rivalry game sila. Sila yung pinakabunso, sila yung palaging digdigan. Sigurado, ano ba? 17,000 losing streak din. 25-24 game losing streak ng Blackwater. They're trying to snap that. Terra Firma naman trying to keep them there and give themselves a shot at making the next round.
Rain or shine going up against what would possibly be an undermanned Northport Batang BR team will be the second game sa Feb 12. Tapos lipat naman tayo sa linggo.
Nagbabay ka ba?
Bakit?
So kondisyon ka. Baka kulang pa yung Northport, bubulong natin kay Boss Eric. Boss Eric, si Panmin Sanity.
Masakit yung ankle ko actually eh.
Injured ka rin.
Tumanggi eh, no?
Pagbibigyan ka pa ni Boss Kong Willie Marshall, kahit di ka dumaan sa drop, okay lang daw.
Sa linggo naman, TNT, Tropang Giga, back in action. Isang araw na pahinga. Grabe yan. Isipin mo, Magnolia yung tatapatan mo ng Friday. Tapos Phoenix Super LPG naman ng linggo, TNT versus Phoenix is the first game. And then, ang matchup na pinakahihintay ng lahat ng tao pag Governor's Cup, it's Barangay Inebra, it's Meralco, and that will be the main event of your Feb 13. That's a Sunday. That is a good one. Bishop versus Brownlee, bagong import for Meralco. Chris Banquero versus Barangay Inebra against Nard Pinto. Uy, ang daming kwento nung larong yan, Magu.
Daming anggulo. Para dun sa Sunday main event na yun. At ito naman yung mga must-see matchup natin, Carlo.
All of these three matchups ere sa Smart Sports Facebook page. So bilugan nyo na po yung tatlong larong yan. If you are a fan of any of those 6 teams, make sure na nakatutok kayo dito sa Facebook page ng Smart Sports to watch all of those games live. Sabi ni Michael Montero, I'm running out of data, sir. See you next time. Maraming salamat po. Tinubos nyo sa amin yung data nyo. Sayang yan. Pero thank you for hanging out with us. And we hope to see you next time as well. And Magu, I think na-discuss na natin lahat ng dapat pag-usapan. We thank everyone for joining us. I'm just so excited to be back in the venue again, calling the games again tomorrow.
I will see you tomorrow, my friend. Both Carlo and I will be working. First game ako, second game si Carlo bukas po. Hopefully, magsama-sama po tayo. TV5, One Sports, Smart Sports Facebook page. Ay, ayan, natumba na naman. Pati sa Smart Giga. Pero iba yung mga panel doon. Pero sama-sama pa rin tayo mag-enjoy.
PBA Rush as well. Siyempre, yan po ang lahat ng pwede nyong panooran ng aksyon. Pwede rin kayo makinig sa Radyo 5. All of those will be delivering the PBA to you starting tomorrow. And we thank you for joining us for this episode of 2OT again. It is and will always be presented by Smart. Smart Sports, maraming salamat. Magumar John. Smart tayong lahat. For Magumar John, ako po si Carlo Pamintuan. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us. See you next time dito pa rin sa 2OT.